question that you all want to know is how hard we get on the marathon as we complete it. So on that note, we got to half marathon. So we did 13, which was very good, which is probably one of the biggest scores you've ever had on one of these. So all well done to you. I especially like the clapping and the stamping, which reinforces it. I thought it was really good. My general sort of view, what I found is that the pace that people speak at is really, really good. It's really slow and it gives you time for it to absorb, and that's really good in terms of being able to understand the words and put that forward. So really good commendation to all your audio on that one. And you're all often doing without any notes, which is brilliant. And the one thing I like about doing this role is that you have to listen the entire time, which is sometimes very difficult with the quality of the speeches because you're all being absorbed. I just want to quickly go on to the so you may not do this over here, but generally it was, I found in most cases there was a few, but it always happens when you have a break and you try to think. But you made a good point, having a pause gives you time to think that without going into the it's just, you'll see that. The only person, there's just a few, as a Satya, you're a brilliant speaker, but too many ers and ums at that particular point. But it's anything that were marvellous in terms of your delivery in terms of that space, but just sort that one out and you'll be fine. In terms of going through, Chris, I loved your Guitar Gently Weeps as a title. It has that resonance, a bit like a good guitar. The suburbanite to urbanite was also another good sort of phrases. Those sorts of things always go wrong well, as well as the leopard leotard, which obviously has some additional advantages. I would just say that you're just a little bit too fast on the pace stuff, because it just gives time for us to absorb the story. I'm terrible for it, very terrible when I'm doing my speeches. Angela, your speech on the power of 10, your use of 10 throughout the whole process was very good. We had a picture of that, and your words did actually paint a great picture, so I thought that was very good. But that single word all the way through, Sunbirth, was very good. Sonia, yours was, I didn't really, you did my job for me because it was all about language. You used probably the most complicated language, diphthongs and consonant German pronunciation. And the one I loved, the word I picked up particularly is when you said long words, you had long. And you had all that heat and hit and sheep and ship and eel and it, which I thought was very good. And so I thought that was a very good commendation to yourself. Denise, yours was, I love the rucksack on the back and the you have a very clear and measured way you speak, which is also keeps you rhythmically going forward with that one. And keep fit to be fit to keep fit. The only thing is, I know you love your brother, but 3 berries and 3 brilliants. And Nike, I think in your one, I found that the way you speak, in terms of was very rhythmical. So there was a story, so it was a rhythm, so it kept you into it. And you follow that with TikToks and rolling in and rolling out. So I think that was the main sort of area that I picked up. And the only other thing I'd just add to that on that side, the table topics was also a great one for picking up what people say in terms of what goes around and comes around, and the rhyming slang was also very good. And coming from Barnet fair hair. So I just concluded that was very well. There's a lot of lessons I learned from you speaking as well, so thank you very much.
Thank you for coming down from Barnet to Glenorian. And on that note, I would just like to recommend to anybody who hasn't, members who hasn't yet visited another club, take the opportunity to do so. You'll learn so much, because each club has a slightly different atmosphere, runs differently, does things in a slightly different order, and has a different feel to it. And you can take a lot back to your club, or bring something from your club to the new one. So Philip, I hope we'll see you back as general evaluator, and hopefully some of us can come up to your club to do that. To round off the evening, there's a saying. There's lots of sayings. I mean, Toastmasters is full of sayings. If it moves, you applaud. If it speaks, you evaluate. There's a lot of speaking been done tonight. Not everybody has been evaluated yet. So now one person has just been sitting quietly taking notes, keeping an ear and an eye on proceedings, is the general evaluator. So I would like you now, please welcome and look forward to summation of our meeting. Sandy Harold.
Mr. Toastmaster, President, fellow Toastmasters and guests, what do you think about the evening? I think it was amazing. I think it was a really amazing, wonderful evening. And personally, I don't like using notes, but this role of a general evaluator is like a marathon. You're going to go the whole way, right from the beginning to it's like 42 miles, and I said, I'm going to have to use something, so I just kept it out there, and I'll try to capture it as much as I can. Right from the beginning when we start in, I think so the President said a number of times when we walk in and we start in 7:30, and having the setup all done, all the credit goes to Sina, and I really genuinely want to say along, if we could have an applause for him. He does it every time, and of course the room is set up, but there's always something different, like this setup. Or things out there, or there's always something different, and I just wish I had the creativity he has.
No, can't that's it.
Sacrifice for you. So that's a great thing. And he also played the role of a greeter, which is important, especially because if you're a member of the club, you just walk inside, you start talking to people. For someone who's coming for the first time, who's come as a guest, it could be a bit lost, you don't want to talk to, so that role is so important, where you meet someone, introduce themselves, give them a name badge. That's really important. So that was really great by Sina to start off with. And then of course we had the President, which I have really kind of envied from day one, the way you like manage the stage. I feel, I wish someday I could do that. I really, really kind of wish I could do it someday. It's very calm and cool and like totally in control, and it makes you feel, wow, I want to be here. It's wonderful. And it's very natural, it's not as if you're putting on a show. I really like it, Peter.
You just managed.
And of course, I think the range we had today was a lot of experienced Toastmasters, and then of course the people in the club, and then we had David coming on, taking as a Toastmaster. And the best thing which I learned on day one, I think Mike told it to me when I first come to do my icebreaker, and he said, if you ever mess up, you're the only one who knows it. And I remember that till date. And I can feel that, when I see experienced people coming on stage and they're delivering, they can forget. And I'm sure the Toastmaster of the evening will agree with me that you could go through some parts where you actually forget something, but you manage it so perfectly, so when other people, and I've done it myself, you say, oops, oh sorry, I forgot something, they just make it so naturally and just go, and you don't realize. And I'm not sure if you'd agree, David, you had some moments today where you might have forgotten something, but they were carried on to humor in such a wonderful way that it actually becomes interesting as if it was deliberate. And that is something where you see the experience coming in. They don't stumble, they don't stutter, it just becomes great. So that was a wonderful thing. Coming to the various roles, I think the Toastmaster very well explained kind of the overview of the meeting, which was really important. Once again, if you're a guest, you come for the first time, you don't know what to expect. So that explanation or summary of what people can expect is really interesting. And we had the timekeeper coming on board, so you came over here, you gave the explanation, which was really nice. One thought I just had, I felt as if it was a little more elaborate in compared to what the timekeeper's role. For example, you gave the specific times of each one. So this is 4 minutes, this is 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I was wondering whether it would be good to say you've got this agenda where the times are mentioned, and then coming directly to the fact that you've got a baseline time, a median, and a peak. So you've got the content rather than the actual specifics of all of them. So that was great. Dennis, I think you've got a very good command over the language. You speak very clearly and precisely. It's amazing. You really have very good command of English. I come from an Asian country, struggle with speed, and I've been told to slow down and become more clearly. You seem to have that naturally. So that's wonderful. I'd like a little more eye contact. So you might tend to keep looking to get the specific words. Could look up a bit more and give eye contact. That definitely will help. I definitely feel that's a great advantage. We had our first speaker. Amazing. It was really amazing, and as we spoke in the break, he explained that he has done various things at work, so it's not the first as such experience standing in front, which was quite obvious. I would have loved to see that guitar a little bit. and he told me about the fact that, you know, one of the strings is broken. Well, you talked about the guitar weeping anyway, so you used it and said, bang, and so there we go, it's weeping. That would have been great. But all in all, I think that was a wonderful icebreaker. It was great. I'm getting the signal, so I'll have to wrap up and speed up. I won't go into every single speaker because I think the evaluators have done that for most of the speeches. So I won't go through that in details. But overall, I think all the speeches were wonderful. Some of them were above average. A few points that I'd just like to touch on is, one was Sonia. I think your speech was very useful in terms of for everyone to understand the aspects of how a person from a different language can struggle. You mentioned, say, I don't want to make a fool of myself. I don't think that's required. You've got that charismatic presence on stage which everyone was captivated. I've learned that, never apologize, don't say I make a fool of myself. Satya, very warm, great control. Denise, she's there for a day. She's got a great smile. I have to wrap up with the time aspect. Angela, all I can say, Angela is back. Apart from that, Elsa, I didn't catch the last thing you said, but that was supposed to be
West Indian.
Yeah, I missed that, but it was something which like grabbed everyone's attention. That was amazing. All in all, I think it was a wonderful evening, and we all enjoyed ourselves, including myself. Thank you very much. It's been a great experience.